So what should leaders be communicating when organizations are in the planning change process? Stay tuned, and we're both going to transform through change. Well, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about what should leaders be communicating when their department or when their organization is going through the planning change process. Today, I'm going to give you 5 things that I think every leader should consider when they're going through this process. Let's dig in. Number 1, the most thing that leaders need to be communicating is, why is the change necessary? You know what? People want to know why. If you're going to change their work schedule, they want to know why. If you're going to change their location of where they're going to be working for the next 6 months, they're going to want to know why. You know, people don't want undue stress. They don't want their productivity to be impacted by something that's really minimal. So leaders, if your organization is going through the planning change process right now, make sure that you communicate why that change is necessary. Number 2, you constantly want to communicate the main goal of the change, right? Because people want to know that you're trying to accomplish something. They want to have a target, right? Of course, we know that if you aim at nothing, you will hit anything. And when people are going through, when your organization is taking people through change, if there's no target, if there's no goal, people are not going to be motivated by that. So it's important that you do that. Number 3, people want to know who the change is going to impact. Oh, I can't stress that one enough. If organization department changes, everyone is sitting in the room and they're wondering, how is this change going to impact me? Do I need to work longer? Do I need to work harder? Do I need to work with more technology? Do you see where all of these things, these questions can bring up fear and uncertainty and all of these kinds of things? And so it's going to come naturally to people, but if you can communicate these things early on, I think you'll help people make sure that they can embrace that change, and more importantly, they can become an advocate for the change. Number 4, people want to know a timeline for implementation. They definitely don't want to show up on the job and all of a sudden change is happening today. Now, we do know sometimes that does happen, but most of the time we're able to kind of work through a timeline so we can prepare for it, right? And that's important that you constantly communicate that. And last but not least, leaders need to be communicating is how the progress will be assessed. You know what? If you're going through the change process and there's no assessment of what you're doing, you're going to be stuck in your own change, because you're going to be changing just for the sake of change. One of the things that I always recommend that leaders do is be willing to change the change, because that means you're assessing this process even as you're going through the change process. So if you want to be, if your organization is in that change process, that planning change process, you're getting ready to go through that, leaders, make sure that you communicate some things. And these 5 things that we shared today can definitely be a benefit for you, and more importantly, it can be a benefit for your people. Because you know what? You need advocates. And as your organization continues to go through this change process, the more people that are advocate for the change, the more likely you're going to have great success. Well, listen, I hope this has been helpful for you today. I look forward to seeing you soon on the next one.